Behind the Shades.
Good. She told me it was evening where she is in beautiful, beautiful Milan. Good evening, Alessandra. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I am well. As I shared in the green room for those who weren't privy to that exclusive conversation, I'm going to be relaxing for the majority of the day. But what are your plans for this lovely Saturday evening for you?
Well, this is a rare occasion, but I actually have a date this evening. And so I'll be getting some dinner with a person I don't know yet.
Oh, look at her.
So,
She has a date, and here I am trying to date.
well, it takes very little, just one swipe.
Oh yes, yes. Just I need to get back into that. Actually, maybe I'll start exercising my thumb so I can get used to the left and the right and the swiping and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's no, I mean it's a necessary tool, I think, these days. I mean we use online to get jobs. Why not use online to find a partner? So
I agree. I absolutely agree. I know for me, it was actually something that I had to learn to do because I wasn't used to when I first started the online dating process, like the whole swiping thing. Was also like I felt like I was superficial. I would just say, okay, she looks attractive. Yeah, her bio's okay. I'll swipe right.
mm,
Um, I know one of my friends, he wasn't even looking at, he was just swiping right on everything. Whatever matches, matches.
yeah, I heard that that's the stereotypically male approach. Uh,
Yeah.
I like reading a little bit more, and I also try to, in some way, see if there's like a bit of a connection with the person as much as you can from the photos. Like, I do tend to stay away from people who don't show their eyes, like if they wear
Ooh.
too many shades, because not that there's anything wrong with that, but it leads me to believe they might be not so um, wanting to be honest with the person in front, like not even with themselves. It's not even about me. It's just that, you know, a little bit of a few levels to go before, they can face to face. So anybody who has shades on or who's looking up to the side in every photo, I'm more discriminatory towards like psychological hacks than I am towards the person. If the person is showing up as they are with their eyes facing the photo and like looking straight at me, or me or whoever's watching, but then I'm like, okay, this person is maybe a little more free, and so let's get to know them a little better. So
Perfect, perfect. So I guess now I'm gonna open my eyes nice and big and just start
yeah,
staring at people.
don't be afraid to show yourself. Yeah, just be fully you.
I
And
agree.
so that's my strategy. But we'll see tonight, because yeah, this guy didn't cover his eyes, and I'm excited to see the personality, I guess. No expectation though.
Absolutely. Going there with an open mind, open heart, and most importantly, of course, open ears because you want to know and get to know the person who you're meeting up with for the first time because it could be a little bit scary. At least that's what the feedback I've been given from the women's perspective when it comes to a first date.
Interesting. Well, I actually think first dates are fun. So I really like first dates. I think that they're the least pressury, at least in my case. I mean, um, it's really just getting to know the person, no expectations. I don't really like, I know we're both going to go to our each respective homes. There's nothing blurry about it. I mean, it's really a first date. So it's just kind of exciting, and you can kind of say whatever you want. And I've stopped putting pressure on anything when it comes to a first date. Just enjoying the person, like you said, open heart. Um, Meeting them where they're, just being unconditional about it, because um, everybody is welcome to be who they are, and you just show up as yourself and enjoy the moment,
Do
enjoy
you
the shared
do
humanity.
you have like a standard approach to your first dates, or is it more like a go with the flow type of deal?
Go with the flow. It's a go with the flow. It's just like every moment of life, right? So if every moment you're making sure that you feel good and you're enjoying yourself, then I think the first date starts before it even happens. The first date starts when the person is confirming to you and, showing some, direct interest and being generally respectful of that, because it's also about them. Like if someone is putting respect into that date, regardless of the person that it's with, then that tells me about the person. So it's try not to take anything personally. Everything is just who they are and where they're at and where you're at. And, I also don't personally care where we go. It doesn't have to be a nice, fancy place. That's actually what I'm enjoying about tonight. It's not going to be so, it's not going to be so fancy. So I don't have to get super ready for it. It's just going to be relaxed and casual and just like, let's hang out and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I think first dates are pretty cool. The hard part is getting from there to, I think third date mark is like really rare to get to a third date. And then when you get to a third date, then it's like making it through those first 3 months. And then when you make it through those, then it's like 6 months. Then it's like, okay, well then now you have, a relationship, and then all sorts of human battles start happening, because it's really easy to be balanced and single, living in your own house. But when you bring in another person, I think that's where the real growth comes. So
why do you think that there is that difficulty as the time with that person progresses from the first date to the second date to the third date, and then ultimately you'd have to make a decision? Is this someone I'm going to continue to see, or am I not really feeling this? And let's have a mature conversation and both go our separate ways. Why do you think there's that maybe difficulty or anxiety about that process?
Well, everybody has their own expectations, first of all. And I think we get triggered, by certain things that are in another person. And when we get triggered by that, it's a chance to grow, but very often we want to run away. And so when you get to like the third or fourth date, then you start noticing like differences in communication habits. Maybe you take it a little bit more personally because some intimacy has taken place. And I think once that mark happens and there's an intimacy shared between two people, there's like this sort of suddenly both people have higher expectations, and more, or at least one person has higher expectations and puts more pressure on the other person. So I think what's really important is to do also the boring stuff in a fun way, but also talk about like what it is you're looking for and what you're trying to do through this exploration with that person. So if someone is looking for, creating a long-term relationship, it's very different when the other person is just looking for something casual and to have fun. And both of those scenarios are perfectly valid. And I've been in both. And but unfortunately, many people don't really have that conversation. So it's really about opening your heart and being open to saying these things. And it's very rare that, but it should happen more often, but it's very rare that two people are like, hey, I like you and I don't know where this is going to go, but I want to give it an honest shot. And I really enjoyed our time. And so like, let's kind of create this like conscious thing and, whatever this may bring. But very often we go off of like the mystery and the attraction and like, the silences and that stuff, on a biological level kind of works to create that attraction. But it's like what makes a great lover doesn't make a great partner. So you kind of have to like also decipher, use a little bit of discernment. Like if that short-term attraction is really what you're after, then go for it. Enjoy the mystery. If you would like to make something more conscious, then it takes two hands to clap. Both people should be going towards each other in a way that's open and honest and transparent. So